On the outside, it's easy to tell someone, just leave. Stephany is the worst wife in the world, just leave. Terrain's the worst husband in the world, just leave. But what a lot of people don't understand on the outside looking in is, as you mentioned, you've been conditioned over a period of time where you truly believe that this person's life has become more valuable than your own.
Yeah.
And that's
You,
uh, right. And that's how people understand, because people seem to forget that trauma bond is that you see the pain. And for those out there, it's similar to when you're being held hostage and you suffer a Stockholm syndrome, where you begin to bond with your captor, with your kidnapper, with your abuser. And in many times, the narcissist will beat you down to the point where the person that you were before them, you don't even remember who that person is anymore. You can't tap in to that type of energy. Is that the picture that you want to paint for those who are on the outside looking in, trying to understand why people stay in these situations, Stephany?
yeah, absolutely. Because it is, you've been hooked. You've been you're addicted. You're in this addiction cycle. And and we as, the victims, they become our life. What can we do to make them happy? Who do I need to become today? What just happened? I have no idea. And then throw some kids in there. And that even makes it more challenging. Do we break up the family? Do I take the kids and go? How much do the kids know? How much do they don't? And then you have to remember that the narcissist is still conditioning you and conditioning everyone. They are telling you, you try to leave me. No one else is going to love you the way I do. No one's going to treat you the way I do. I mean, when it's good. No one is going to believe you. So think of like a covert narcissist. They're usually pillars in the community. They're respectful people. They're the ones that are in church and volunteering to take the old ladies grocery shopping. They look like a model citizen, and then they come home and they're someone different. And so when they say no one's going to believe you believe that. Or you can't get any better, or maybe they financially controlled you. You don't even have control of your bank accounts or the money. You don't even know where the money is because you have to beg and ask for the credit card to go grocery shopping to get food for the family because you're the grocery shopper among everything else that you are. And so there's so many complex layers that you can't just say, why don't you leave? Can't you see it? He's abusive. She's abusive. Um, they're treating you like shit. You need to go. You can't do that. That's how you lose a friendship. What you can do is say to your friend, if there is someone you know and that you love and care about who's in this situation, you can say, I see you. I love you. I'm a safe person. If you ever need to get away for a night or a weekend, my house is safe. I am safe. And I'm here for you. And be that support person. Because once you start preaching, they're gone and they will cut you off.
How were you able to break free from not only one situation, but two with your ex husbands?
So, getting away, there's usually only two ways out. You are discarded, and it's exactly what it sounds like. What do we discard? We discard trash, right? So, or you find worthiness within yourself and you say, I'm done. I'm sick of this. I can't live like this. And you leave. So, um, and when you're discarded, it's usually for two reasons. One, they've used you up. You've become this robot, and they've conditioned you so well that you're just not fun anymore. This is a game. It's all a game. I was a chess player, I love chess. I love games. I like strategy. This is a game. They fully know what they are doing to you. Don't ever be deceived that they're unaware. No, they know exactly what they are doing to you. Um, so my first husband, so he was a cheater, And again, how many of us do this? We put cheating in one category and abuse in the other category. Well, they're just cheaters. Well, cheating is psychological and emotional abuse. Did you tell them to stop? Did they not? Okay. The sad thing is if I were to call the cops and be like, oh, I just caught my husband cheating and he's psychologically abusing me and he keeps gaslighting me, can you take him and haul him off to jail? The cops would show up and laugh, say, you guys need therapy, God, and they would leave. And so, it's there's not, until all of us as a whole society recognize this, then yeah, we have to fight it individually. But going back to yours, he walked out for another woman, left me with a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old and another married woman. And at the time, I didn't want to be married to him anymore. But I come from a very good, solid family. And he comes from a very good, solid family. And I loved our families. And we had the little kids, and you didn't want to break that up. And all this stuff. And it's like, well, you don't get divorced. I mean, my mom's a minister. I grew up at church. And so it's like, no, you work through these things. But at what point do you say, I've done my best, I'm being psychologically and emotionally abused, I need to go, and not pray enough that they will get better or go to therapy? They won't go to therapy. And so he left. And when he left, he told me, he's like, well, I'm setting you free. And then he spent the next 6 years doing post-separation abuse, which is also very common. It's using the courts and legal. And so it was just frivolous motions all day long, stupid stuff. But you still have to go and show up. And this is a way for them to control you. And so does it get easier when you leave? In some ways, it does. In other ways, it's still very difficult. I say fortunately, unfortunately, however you want to look at it, but my ex-husband committed suicide 3 months ago. And so I finally feel free. And yes, it was tragic and horrible, but I have to look out for myself and my children. And it's like, okay, the abuse has stopped.